I'm happy. I am Miley Carter, April 25th, 2016. This is how my face looks. I've waited so long for this day. And I've been through a lot just to get here. I'm emotional on the inside. I could just cry. I can feel my tears building up. Now it's just about the wait. But I know as the days go by, it's gonna go so fast. And before you know it, I'll be 1 year in.
Welcome to Miley Carter's World, your favorite girl on YouTube. Are you ready to be entertained?
I am at a year in my transition. I am at a fucking year in my transition.
What's going on? It's your favorite trans girl here on YouTube, Miley Carter, and today's video is going to be a very exciting video because guess what, bitch? Today is my trans birthday. Today is the day that I officially have started transitioning on hormones, on HRT, bitch. Start popping those shots, start popping those locks, those needles, those pins, those dips, those flips, those nips, those titties. Bitch, today is the day that a year ago, I started transitioning, bitch. I'm a woman now. So very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the small little intro clip that I, filmed a year ago. As you can see, like, the difference between my face. Maybe I didn't really glow up. It didn't change. Maybe it's just my makeup that makes my face look different. Maybe it's just, my highlight is blinding you from not seeing it. Shout out to ColourPop for this highlighter. Thank everybody that loves me, that has been, here with me through my journey. When I looked a mess, when my hair was bad, when my leave-I was a mess, when my leave-I was crunched up, bitch, when my hair was dry as fuck, when, those days where I was down and I was crying. And those of you who was on my live stream last night, when you asked me something and I end up crying on my live stream, and it was a very emotional experience for us, I thank you guys so very much. I thank you guys so very much, and I don't think you guys truly understand how much it means to me that I am a year into my transition. This past year has definitely been a very traumatic, traumatic year for me. A year ago, like I said, via Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, but via Instagram, I had made a post, late last night, after 12, and I told you guys my story about my transition over the past year experience. Like, me transitioning in college was some of the worst times that I've had in my life. Like, I always had to worry about being clocked, or I always had to worry about, how I looked and this and that, and it was just so damn much. And I was going through a depression period where I felt like I needed niggas, so I was fucking people just because. I went through a time in my life where I felt that, I felt that I needed a man to solidify me, or to validate my life, or to validate me being a woman, or to validate my womanhood. I dated men and talked to men, and they allowed them to use me to make me feel like a worthless piece of shit. I allowed men to come into my life and use my body to make them feel good, just to get their nut off. But at the end, I'm the one who's crying at 4 a.m. and midnight, because I felt like I needed a man to fill that void in my life. It's been many times where I felt like, my jaw's too strong, or I hate my nose, I want a nose job, my forehead's too big, I look like a man without makeup. There's been times where, as you may know, as other motherfucking bitches on YouTube like to try to blur up my insecurities, I felt like I needed to have makeup on because I felt like I didn't look like a woman. There's been times where I felt like, I didn't have anybody. I felt like I needed other people to fill voids in my life. Sometimes I felt like I had to do things for the approval of other people. I felt like I needed, men figures in my life, or a man, or even a man friend, to fill those small voids that I didn't have because my father wasn't in my life. like I wanted him to be. You know, I went through depression a year ago from today, a year ago from this month, a year ago from this time period. I was emotional. I was a wreck. I was depressed. I was suicidal. I tried to kill myself. So, when I say that I am here for any trans person that needs my help or assistance, I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I hate, this is why I strongly feel so, this is why I strongly, you know, feel a close niche or feel a close attachment when it comes to trans people or women in general. Because I know how it feels to be a black trans woman. I know how it feels to be poor, or I know how it feels to not really have money and to have to go through your transition alone. I know how it feels to have to find ways to make yourself look suitable, to be at least somewhat passable. I know how it feels to not have anybody in your corner. I know how it feels to be bullied, to be harassed, to be talked about. I know how it feels. So, you damn right, I'm ready to go off on a tangent. You damn right, when I see people with platforms here on motherfucking YouTube abusing and using their platform so it can get bigger to misclaim and misgender themselves as trans, it really breaks my heart and makes me really upset. Because I'm gonna be honest, even when Caitlyn Jenner came out, I was highly upset. And you know why? Because Caitlyn, they automatically tried to put Caitlyn on a top fucking level pedestal for trans people. For one, Caitlyn does not know what it means or how it truly means to be trans at the time. She didn't know. She did not know. So for you to just be up into drag and just to up and, you know, get your boobs done and get your jaw chiseled and get this done and get that done, you feel that because you somewhat got those, you transitioned through surgeries, you felt like that you can be the open ear or the voice for trans people. I personally feel like you can't. I personally feel like you can't. Because you really haven't lived through the trans experience like many of us have. I hate when people have platforms and they just up and run and say, you know, I am the voice for trans people and I know, you know, what it feels like and I know. No, you don't know how it feels. You don't know how many sleepless nights that many of us have went through. How many times many of us have been in predicaments where we could have been shot and killed. How many times have many of us have been physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally abused, psychologically abused by our elders, our family, our friends, people who are strangers in our lives, people who are random, who don't know us, trolls. You truly do not understand how it feels to be a black trans woman. So you damn right, I have every right to feel some type of way when someone is pretending to be fucking trans or think putting on makeup or wearing a wig or wearing hair or, you know, having a lash on or wearing a bra or wearing female's clothes. People think that that makes them trans. That does not make you trans. The inside thought and belief that you are the opposite sex that that person or that doctor assigned you at birth, that defines you as trans. And you know what? Yes, being trans is definitely an umbrella. But, yes, you can be gender fluid. But when it comes to a point where you say you are a trans woman, bitch, you don't have no reason to say that you are gender fluid. You are a trans woman. You see yourself as a woman and nothing more than that. Stop self-proclaiming that you are trans when you are living your life day by day as a man. by night as a woman. Online as a woman. You are a drag. You are a butch queen in drag. You are a male that's in drag. You are not trans. You are not trans. And no, I am not transphobic. I live by, I stand by, I help any and every trans person that has ever came past me or that has ever needed my help. I'm transphobic. I gave my hormones to a friend that had who felt like she was trans and she wanted to immediately start her transition and she had nobody to help her. I gave my fucking hormones to her. Did I have to do that? No. If I was transphobic, how the fuck am I gonna be transphobic when I'm trans myself? I'm in my own transition. And yes, I know everybody transitions differently. But what I hate the most is when somebody pretends to be trans. Or when somebody thinks putting on makeup, wearing a wig, wearing a lash, inserting a bra, wearing females' clothes makes them trans. That's just the perks of being a woman. That does not make you trans. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so very much. And as always, like, comment, share, subscribe.